Right. Well then, my lovely dears, welcome back to another fantabulous session. Books of the North. When last we left off, you guys had yourselves introduced to the village of the Slamalanders,
Yay!
which now actually has a background. Hooray! Welcome to Broken Tooth Village.
Neat. Hey guys, they discovered cow technology. Moo.
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 Yep. It is probably not some kind of cow, but, you know. It's a good-looking skull for some kind of menacing creature. Now, Stranger Jaelith introduced you to a longhouse, wherein you met one of their elders, who I also believe was a large man. She'll increase his token size there. Compared to the others, he's a far scalier individual. You can see a long, proud, draconic muzzle sticking out beneath some shamanistic robes. Pair of curved wings. Yes, a pair of hook-tipped, leathery wings are folded tightly against his back, and a fiery tail is held aloft from the ground, maybe only about a foot, just enough to make sure that nothing gets scorched. What do you do?
We sit in deafening silence.
And don't jump in at once.
I mean, it was Jeanette and Saoirse who wanted to talk to the dragon, so I think everyone's sort of waiting on them.
Alright. You have free
Alright.
control of your tokens. I'm going to make sure that the background details for this village are prepared while you're at it.
This is a bad thing for me to do, and my mind is consumed by thoughts of other stuff. Alright. Ruler tool. Alright, we hadn't, sat down to eat or anything, right? Because I remember there's a big old long table.
There is a big long table. Currently, you have everyone's undivided attention. They were in the middle of drinking and eating, but you're a bunch of foreigners. That's a big fucking deal. Also, they were probably, presumably, before you arrived, talking about the fact that a titanic dragon crossed the sky, one of their gods.
Alright. So Jeanette will step forward with Saoirse on her shoulders. Greet, and I will say in Draconic. Ooh. Yeah, I will say, greetings. I am the apothecary Jeanette Hauptmann of the Freelands. This is my daughter Saoirse. And Saoirse's gonna strike what she thinks is a pretty cool pose, but it's just a Superman pose.
Fair enough. Fair enough. She's got a little
Which
mask on
is
still.
pretty cool. Ah, yeah, I forgot about her little mask. Yeah. We were brought here by the Great Dragon to seek out an item of worth to him. A small, what we assume to be a small, glowing crystal bauble, which radiates ancient divine magic.
The shaman will consider you for an extended period of time before slowly nodding. That is a rather unbelievable tale. Had we not seen our god cross the skies, we dismissed you for mad woman.
I wouldn't count that out of the options yet.
He'll blink slowly.
He keeps saying things like that. I just find your view of the world somewhat lacking. Maybe it's all the blue hair.
He'll squint for a moment. It's probably quite an intimidating squint from him, considering his face is draconic in nature, but he will then shrug. A number of the chairs, like, close to his side of the table will be vacated so that you can all take seats beside him. They're still looking at you like a bunch of curious foreigners. First and foremost, I suppose I welcome you to Broken Tooth Village.
Are things that hard to eat around here?
She'll just start giggling.
He will snort softly. No, we just find that we break a lot of teeth. Not our own.
Oh.
Turns out they're huge fans of curd stopping.
Yeah. Well, he shifts a little bit in his chair so you can see past his wings, and you can see mounted up against the wall at the back of the longhouse is indeed a probably 4-foot long tooth that has been broken off of something.
That's big.
Oh my god, they're orcs. Their entire currency is teeth.
Yeah, his teeth. Oh no, it's even worse. That means they don't have genitals. No!
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 Yeah, it's fine.
They all have poop suits.
It's even finer then.
That's all Savin cares.
It's all I need! We're a self-sustained village. We've been here for a very long, long time, as you might imagine. Seeing newcomers in our home is unusual.
I quite understand. I grew up in a village like that.
Not so understandable. And you say that a god wants you to acquire something for him that he can't.
I think it might simply be because it's a very tiny thing, probably squirreled down in a little hole. Might not want to break up a continent to find it.
He will grin widely, a huge number of teeth. Actually, no. There is a place that none of us can go. Rebuffs our kind, those of our blood.
An anti-dragon thing. Dude, no, I only know that information out of character. Never mind.
Okay. He will nod slowly. A crude way of putting it, but yes. It is a location older than any of us here, and likely not an inconsiderable amount of time out of our own god's lifespan ago. We believe the location to be elven, but as we have been unable to enter it, we don't know.
Excellent. I have already explored one elven ruin. Found a vampire, actually. What's another?
He'll pause and shrug. Fair enough. Others without our blood have tried to enter before. They never returned.
That makes it even better.
That's promising.
I'm glad to hear it. You would not want to disappoint him. Especially if you were brought here for that very reason.
I mean, yes.
For now, however, the freezing rains will be coming again soon. I invite you, drink, eat.
Those are 2 words Saoirse knows.
Yeah,
And sleep.
and drink. So 3 words.
She is going to go for some food as big as she is. It's gonna be great.
Not hard to find. So, I mean, they have selections of what appear to be like potatoes and onions. They're like smaller and harder than you think of than the ones you're used to. There are a number of they appear to be dried fruits, but they smell and look fresh. And there is plenty of meat.
Oh, well. I guess dried fruits will suffice.
There's also, I did describe potatoes and onions. Or does Thyri not eat potato or onion either?
I mean, she'll eat them, but she prefers fruits.
Fair enough.
Potatoes are just so bland.
That's because you don't eat them with meat.
Exactly.
Just ask the managers for hot sauce. It's fine.
Ugh.
Can I have some of your hot sauce?
And then Thyri got slapped and doesn't know why.
They call this one's dick chalupa.
Anyway. Oh yeah, I have that magic jar of strawberries. I will consume
Do you have a magical
some from
jar of
that.
strawberries?
Indeed, she will offer some strawberries to the locals.
Yeah. There are a few people who will look curiously to the shaman as though for permission, and he'll indicate them to go right ahead. And yeah, there were a number who will accept a bunch from you, including a few very keen, bright-eyed young salamanderers in not very much clothing.
Yeah, but haven't seen any of these before.
Exactly. Yeah. They're delighted, and they will happily partake of strawberries. And then you find it gets really warm as you have now just a ring of vaguely Astra-aged salamanders just surrounding you.
Yes.
I forgot about the strawberry thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably it probably gets quite stuffy. Astra herself is torn between paying attention to all these not particularly dressed salamanders and the fact that also food has been placed down in front of her.
I mean, same.
And then Astra asked for the hot sauce.
Yeah. But yeah, there are things you could probably ask or do, or you can just partake in food.
And debauchery. But that's later.
I will ask the shaman if there's any dangers between here and the site we're going to. Any local wildlife or great beasts in the area?
He'll pause at Great Beast. That is the word you give to...
The big giant things, yeah.
Large
Yes.
monsters.
Very large monsters with worthwhile parts. No, those have been hunted quite to extinction on this island. There are monsters still, animals. It is not in our nature to hunt all of them. Otherwise, they would not reproduce. We would find ourselves gradually running out of meat. Indeed, we ask that if you should come across any creatures, you try not to land killing blows on them. That is more matters for our hunters. We carefully monitor the amount of food that we gather.
Gotcha.
Some are aggressive and known to attack. He seems to be struggling to imagine creatures that are on your side of the land to compare them to. But there are he describes long-limbed creatures that are close to the ground, and they've got features that remind you of cows or bulls, except obviously a little bit more alien than aught.
Boars. Big feral pigs.
It is. They're pigs with long legs that clamber across the ground.
Ugh.
Yeah, and there are a number of other creatures, but he says that that's unlikely that any of them will bother you. It's really only a pack of, he says a draconic word. The closest approximation is boar. Will bother you.
Alright.
It shouldn't be too far away from Broken Tooth. Let's have a look here.
Now, Just
Maybe
to-
2 hours away. Although right now, 2 hours is quite dangerous travel for your group. Or with the endless freezing rain.
Yeah. Now, refresh my memory. He said his people don't go to this place. Did he call it, like, sacred specifically, or it's just somewhere forbidden?
They can't go to
They
it.
literally.
Okay.
He's described as a place they literally physically cannot enter.
Alright,
He doesn't
so-
describe it as sacred. In fact, if anything, he mentions it with a note of derision because it's capable of keeping their race out.
Ah, okay. I just wanted to make sure, like, when we inevitably loot this place to the ground, that we aren't, like, offending them.
But they don't even know what's in it. They've never seen the inside. So
Okay.
you're effectively given free reign to just
Excellent.
like go full hobo and like rip things off the wall if you find things that are rippable.
So maximize the
Wonderful.
hobo, minimize the murder on this island. Got it.
Yes, that's a good way of thinking of it.
I can do that.
Now there are things that you can acquire here in Broken Tooth. Admittedly, it's quite late at night, so like no store is open. There is a small building that belongs to him specifically, from which you can acquire shamanistic goods.
Ooh.
There are foodstuffs that to you guys would be seen as rare, but are rather common here. Like, for instance, new potatoes, red onions. They have, like... They look like bushes for plums, except they always seem to produce, like, this, although broad, shriveled-looking fruit that's quite sweet to taste. It grows specifically well in the, like, salty rainwater that they get around here. Let's see here. So they wiped out the great beast population. I think getting into a fight with them might be a bad idea.
Yeah, they're just an island of people who are level 20.
Yeah, no. Just had a lot of mandos, that's all. I'm sure it's fine. You should totally start fights with this random friendly village.
Yeah, like, that's totally in character for our party. For sure.
One of them sneezes something and it sounds like a word of necril and you just fucking radar goes off.
5 minutes later,
Death.
the whole town's just on fire.
Yep. God told me to do it!
This is why we can't take you anywhere nice.
is why we
Just
can't
burn
do
it.
those
Look at
things.
that.
Burn the heretic! Purge the unclean! No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's gonna be
Everything's
great.
cool. Everything's great. Yeah, friendly, nice place. Full of friendly people. Anna eats any food that is given to her, and probably is like sat the closest to the shaman and continually asking him increasingly strange questions that he is gradually running out of the ability to answer. That thankfully, when he realizes that she can be distracted with food, they bring extra food.
I suppose a good question to ask the shaman would be what exactly we're going after, since their god called it like one half the avatar or something like that.
He blinks. We don't know. None of us have ever been in there. We do not know what secrets it hides. No one has come back to tell us. I'm afraid we have no idea.
I see. Hold on 1 second. Let's just do an insight to see if that's actually right. And
Sure.
yeah. So I have a inquisitive thing so that my dice for checking insight if they're lying will always be at least 17 or higher.
Okay. A critical insight. Okay then. He is not being readily deceptive. It's likely he has ideas, but is unwilling to tell you them because they have no way of confirming any of these ideas at all. He doesn't like to speak in anything other than absolute.
Okay then, I see.
Yeah. From speaking with him, he's never told you anything that hasn't been, like, actually an undeniable fact, I suppose. And so he is being careful not to say anything that doesn't seem to be a fact. For what reason, you can't tell, because there are just any multitude of reasons, like just always wanting to be right.
Alright, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I'm back and not doubled over in pain anymore. It's great.
Woohoo!
Uh.
Fuck you, Taco Bell, with your guac gun. The Guap 9.
Walk.
Uh,
Oh god, I gotta use that.
Alright. Did anyone ask who founded this village yet?
Nope.
Alright, well, from Saoirse's direction, there's kind of just a chainsaw sound as she gobbles up a ton of food, but doesn't seem to, get a full belly at all, because she's a fairy. But...
Understandable. When she's eating, by the way, the mask seems to like part open around her mouth. Like, 'cause it's still there at the nose and upper lip, and it's still there across the chin, but it's like opening so that she can eat food. And then when she closes again, it seems to be one complete thing. That's mystifying a few people.
If anyone asked, she shrugs, and she said, I saw a really cool star.
Yep.
When the big dragon picked us up and took us so far away. We were on the other side of the world.
I saw space.
Space.
I want to go to space. How did I know
Space?
I would get a
Space. I
fucking
wanna go to
chorus
space.
of that?
Space.
I knew it would happen too.
Uh,
But yes, Auntie Thyri is attracting a lot of young newborn Mander attention.
ha!
What?
Excellent.
Both male and female, as they all tussle for chances to try out delicious, lightly syruped strawberries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
I mean,
got-
she is also, attractive. She is quite fuckable.
I mean, yeah, but as long as Theory will just brush off any advancements or anything like that.
I drank so
Politely as
many
possible.
potions, guys. I'm so
Yeah, so I mean, Jeanette, you've made yourself clear that you are a speaker of the local dialect, although their accent for Draconic is different to your own. You yourself are indeed attracting a lot of attention.
Every single time I say a word, and I say a word like a little bit wrong, it's like when someone says dagger instead of dagger.
No, it's like aluminium,
Aluminium.
and
It's
they're like,
aluminum.
no, it's aluminium. You're saying it wrong.
Mayonnaise.
No, no, they find it adorable that you have an accent.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna ask the chief who founded his village.
The founder of our village. That would have been the elder that came to before me. Equally powerful individual. But we each train our own. There isn't much of a story to the telling of our founding. This just happened to be a place that was somewhat sheltered from the weather by the hills behind us. And he will indicate that his idea of a hill is, to you guys, a small mountain, modest mountain. And easy access to a forest, which you will then indicate ahead. There used to be many more trees, but we, as you would expect, cleared them to create this village. Or my elder did.
Alright.
I'm told this village is probably just 400 years old.
I had expected a tad longer, given the average age of those combining both Draconic and Tiefling blood.
He will scratch his head. It is believed that our origins are Draconic and Tiefling, but all of our children here are of, how best to put it, pure breeding, salamander and salamander together.
That's very interesting. Maybe the Draconic blood has traits strong enough to pass down.
Well,
That would make sense.
you probably know that if a tiefling of a type and a tiefling of a type do some smash, they will generally produce 50-50 odds of the same type of tiefling or baseline tiefling.
Oh, okay.
So, but in their case, you would be correct. But it seems like they've
100% passed down traits.
they're passing down the traits 100%. He'll nod slowly. Yes, that would be the reasonable assumption. As for our age, yes, we are technically immortal, but our wish is to continue to produce generations. And he will indicate the young salamanders that are flocking around Jeanette, Thyri, and now that she's consumed a bunch more food, Astra and Viv. In fact, basically now the younger ones are all showing the party a lot of interested attention. Our wish is to have new generations lead us to... how best to put it? Choose a time to move on. I myself am quite old. And so it well may be, once I have trained one to be my replacement, shaman, then I will choose to leave the mortal coil.
That is an interesting life cycle, to be sure.
The alternative would be just a village of never-aging people in a place that never changes, or overpopulating ourselves to death on the island. We're considerably more sensible than most.
Jeanette will take in all this information, thoughtfully chewing on a hunk of meat.
See, Saoirse is adorable and small. And like when she hops up and flexes, there are a bunch of mandas who just basically want to drag her down into the cuddle puddle, where it's all warm.
I mean,
Like she would resist that.
yeah.
Yeah, she's like stands up and flexes like she's adorable. It's so pretty, and then they claim her.
No, stop, go back.
Oh no, take me back to my friends.
Oh,
no.
Oh yeah, Shrenza is huge as compared to the rest of these guys.
She is she is an older salamander than a lot of these ones.
Ah, I get you.
Upon asking about it, he will agree that they are at a point where their most recent generation of elders have moved on. He's hanging around the longest because he's got a lot more work to do in, like training up the next shaman to take over the village. And Trenza herself is a captain. She's just been around longer and was one of the few that were like between generations, quote unquote. Like they have a very literal, divisible line of generation and age. Like there are older salamanders here. It's frankly impossible to tell how old they actually are. Presumably they haven't had kids because they haven't, moved on. This age is only some 20 years at best. For a moment, he will, that muzzle lifts up at a smile that you would attribute to pride. Although, on his face, it probably looks like a fucking menacing maw of endless sharp teeth. They are healthy, which is good. It does us good to see that the young rise, and so that we may leave in peace.
That is a very good thing for parents to have healthy children. Nod, nod. While Saoirse's just she's doing that thing from Terminator, just slowly sinking into
disappearing. She's throwing out the horns.
You're throwing out the horns.
But oh no, it's so warm in this puddle. And then just more clothing is getting stripped away. How will I ever cope? It's too warm. Oh no.
I've been dragged to a cuddle pile. Woe is me. Alright. So, what else? I know I have another question. Oh yeah, so can you tell us any more about the nature of these ruins? Like any specific, guardians other than simply the no dragons allowed field?
Anything more about it? No.
Guardians,
As aforementioned, it's either full of traps, magic, or some kind of guards, protectors, because there have been some limited number of people not of our kin who've been here before. Their entry was ill-fated, or at least we can only assume ill-fated. They never returned. For all we know, they made it through successfully.
if they made it through successfully, then there'd at least be some rumor of your kind to the east. Oh, wait, to the west.
To the west. He'll pause. That is one reason for the assumption that they did not return. Or perhaps they did go there and learn something they shouldn't have. The world is full of ancient mysteries.
Learning things I shouldn't. At first you had my...
Specialty!
At first you had my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
Now you have my arousal.
I mean, maybe.
Jeanette learns of ancient forbidden mysteries, and there's just under the table.
Yeah. Got to open my sheet.
Yeah, he will pause to yawn widely, and you realize that it is quite late. And he will nod to a lot of you. You are welcome to drink and eat until you are sated. And then he'll blink and look at Anna, who's just like collecting an anime stack of plates. Pause. That's not in her case. We can only afford so much food.
Anna just wiggles tentacles.
No, she wiggles her tentatail.
Wiggles tentatail.
Yep, tail tickle.
Isn't it's just like half of what is it? Like a good quarter of the food just gets shoved into a papusa.
Yep. Yep. No, apparently Anna in return is going to be sharing some of her fancy bacon.
Bacon!
Yeah, fancy bacon. And that will attract attention of a bunch of young manders, as one would expect, because bacon is great. Especially if it's awesome monster bacon. Also, I recall you guys having like a shit ton of crab meat if you want to start trying to share some of that
crab. We do have crab meat that we preserved.
Yep. So yeah, they'll happily accept these delicious foreign delicacies. Even Saoirse's Cuddle Puddle will be snuggle interrupt us to receive strange new foods.
Like just a hand shoots out and grabs a plate and it sinks back into the pile.
And then you just hear a soft mouthful. Yay!
Turns into a full-blown feast.
Yes.
Actually, I have bourbon. Really terrible bourbon, but I can make bourbon.
Duff Truck, you're welcome to produce more of your drinks and foods. We will hardly turn any down. And he will pause to accept some Anna bacon and then confess. This is very delicious, thank you.
Should have got a keg of fancy beer. Oh,
if only
well.
you'd known you were going to be abducted by a dragon.
If only I was Benny.
Mm-hmm.
If only.
Alright. So yeah, I don't have any more questions. Just gonna eat.
Yeah, alright then.
Facing salty rain, shamanistic goods, rare foods. Rare foods, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I clicked open to my TFs and I forgot that we had gone beyond any descriptors that I knew for butt, so I just said ass that won't quit. Forgot about that. Made myself giggle.
What about Calipigian booty?
I already had that.
Oh no. You've gone beyond Calipigian. Now you got that shelf kind of ass where you can put up your tchotchkes collectibles.
Yeah, we had this conversation before. I was like, oh no, it's already like this. What do I do?
Oh, right, the potions.
Yes. The potions.
Again, if you're like retiring your other character, you can have those 2 potions are saved.
Yeah, let's do this tonight.
Oh god.
All right, cool. Yeah, the fire moss. I forgot about that.
Yep, the fire moss has a section in our chemical goods, I believe. Doop. There it is. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some of that corpse ivy. I actually, yeah, cool. Cool. Broken Tooth Village. All right.
I should add that generation state. There you go. Currently, the Broken Tooth Village is entering into a new generation. The elders have departed, and fresh young manders fill the homes and halls.
Small manders.
Yep, many a small mander until they grow into big mander. What if you mixed a fem potion with an eldritch tentacle potion? That sounds dangerous.
It does.
Nah, I'm sure it'd turn out fine.
All right.
Maybe then it would work on Anna. Do you want to find out why you're only in Twitch chat, Kina? Because I'm sure that's a thing that Jeanette would try.
All right. Hang on. I've got to go fight something real quick. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Ripperonies. See, I know what will happen. It amuses me. But yeah, so Astra wants to take the feminization potions then. Sorry, not Astra, there.
I was
Cynthia
gonna
wants
say.
to take feminization potions.
It's a constant kind of change there. People mix them up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 1d4 for each of them, yeah?
I believe so. I haven't got the details of those potions to hand. Here we go, yes. 1d4. 1 is ass and hips, 2 is thick thighs, 3 is the bust, and 4 is all above and below. Oh, gosh. Wow.
Alright, so what was 3?
3 is the
Oops.
bust. So what was your original cup size?
Double D.
Alright, welcome to the land of double E. You have E cups.
Wonderful.
As in
Astra's like watching as that first potion is drunk, and she's just like idly chewing on some kind of monster bacon, and then you just hear thunk, and like a button pops somewhere, and then a thunk from underneath Astra as well. Like a few of the manders as well all pause and just like heads tilt curiously as she just necks this potion, and her chest grows, and all of them like start looking down at like the foods and random things they've accepted from you all, suddenly a little bit unsure.
I think you mean suddenly way more excited.
A few of them, sure. But most of them are sensible individuals who don't want to just suddenly, like, bounce up a couple of cups. They are going to be growing into large-sized creatures when they get older. They generally do have to be a bit careful. They have not finished growing. And then all of the above. So, your ass gets larger. Your hips.
I go from
broaden
large to jiggly.
Yep. Your ass becomes jiggalicious. Your hips become broader and more. You got them birthing hips now. Your thighs gain a measure of the thickness. Like, what were you wearing? Leather armor? It is being tested currently. Your
Oh,
bust goes up again to F cup. For fuck yeah. And
Seems
yeah,
you're the
that's
largest in the party now.
yep. Maybe. Yeah. So now, Cynthia, you have F cups, and the rest of your body just sort of gained a whole lot more squishing.
Yeah.
You feel like delightfully normal. It's probably a very strange situation to be like, I have just changed. In fact, what you probably are is a little bit uncomfortable because all of your clothing is now way too tight. Like, all of it.
As soon as she notices, I think Astra's just going to be like, well, time to go take those clothes off and loosen them up. Come here.
Oh yeah, you want to test out the new bot?
She will shifty eyes. Maybe. Yeah, when she does so, a couple of the Mandas will, they'll take you to a home that is currently unoccupied so that you can have a place to sleep. And to get you from, like, one building to the next, because it's fucking cold still. And when you head outside, like, one of the Mandas looks up and scowls. And it looks like a rain's coming as well.
But it's already raining. Oh, God. No.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Like, it's been a light pitter-patter of freezing cold now, and she looks up as though, like, that's normal. But what she senses coming is rain, big air quotes.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, yes. Astra and Cynthia are shown to another place, and they will quickly light up a hearth for you and make sure that the doors are solid and sturdy. Of course, the way they light a hearth is to press their tail to it because they're awesome. Just
Shoved a booty
fire.
in there.
Yep. Wiggle their hips, little old floof, and then flame. You get a thumbs up from a bunch of them. One of them will like rummage around in a bunch of the cupboards and cabinets and make sure that there's like at least some preserved foods. There appear to be some like sealed jars for like just drinking water and stuff like that. And they seem satisfied that you aren't all gonna like die overnight or something.
Okay.
I hope you have a nice night, and then they will leave.
I know what it was too.
Yeah.
My brother's visiting for the weekend, and he brought over Chinese, and I got hungry later in the night.
Of course, Chinese food. It does do that.
But that chow mein was so good.
Yeah, I'm suddenly fucking craving Chinese food, but it's very expensive here, so I'm gonna behave.
No regrets. No regrets.
No, all I have is a regret. It's too expensive. Like seriously.
No, I'm talking about my food, but
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm gonna be like, seriously, for like the amount of food that I can get for a tenner instead, that's like 40 quid. It's
Really?
so fucking expensive. Yeah, just because of the. I mean, 10 quid as if I were buying food to cook with, not as if I were buying different takeout.
oh, okay. Because I was about to say, I thought Chinese would be about as cheap in England as it would be in California.
It's a bit more expensive than getting pizza, and it is about even with getting curry.
Ah, okay. It's actually cheaper to get Chinese food here than pizza.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're really, really close to China comparatively.
Yep.
Anyways, is it still that night? What I miss?
It is. That's still that night. Cynthia's cup size has climbed into F's. She has a jiggly booty, wider hips, and thicker thighs. And she has
Fs?
been, yeah.
Fs.
She went from double D's to E's and then straight to F.
What about double E? Never mind.
She went from double D to double E. She got the specific bust one first, so I gave her 2 cups, and then she got the all over, which gave her a cup.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I got mine from. But I got the reason why is because I got the thighs one twice and the butt one twice.
Yep.
And then the all one once. But
Correct.
okay,
You only went up a cup size. She got specifically boobages, and so went up 2, and then went up 1.
yeah. If you recall when we tried it on Anna, I actually failed my perception test and noticed that nothing had happened. That's why she drank like 3 or 2, I forget. But I didn't notice that nothing had happened. I was like, yeah, earlier, you're good.
Yep.
Close Taylor.
Yeah. Would anyone else like to, be escorted to some of these homes to stay in? They've got a slightly larger one that can probably suit a number of you at once.
Well, I mean, Saoirse's busy right now.
Yeah, Saoirse's going to end up in a salamander home.
She's getting great cuddles.
Yep.
Salamanders give the best cuddles.
They give very warm cuddles.
Yeah, the best.
And that's not all she's going to be given either.
Probably not.
I mean, probably, but still. For now, it's just cuddle time, so let's keep it PG.
But yeah, most of them will. This is probably just going to be even more further into the yes zone for Savin, but they don't really want to produce a whole nother set of offspring. So if anyone starts wagging around the Schwingus, they can be like, no, but maybe the butt.
Good old Manders.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly. They're like,
mean,
they do not want to produce another set of offspring, so they primarily practice the ancient art of butt stuff.
I mean,
This
you
is
just
the
see
best village.
you just
Yep.
see Astra and Thyri's head slowly turn. No, not Thyri. Cynthia. There we go. Thyri is just
Theory's one is
doing
turns
that
as
face
well,
palm.
but I'm sure Theory's turns as well, but stealthily.
So it's time for Cynthia and Astra to experiment tonight, I guess.
Yep.
Practicing
they're
local
gonna-
customs and all, when in Rome.
Yeah, practicing local customs. They're going to be practicing hiding the bone.
I'm very good at hiding the bone.
Yep. You got better at it now. There's more cushion for pushing.
Oh, God.
Alright. Before indulging any of the manders around her, I'm going to go check on my eggs and tell them that they're good eggs.
Sure. Your eggs are in their warming container in the carriage, which was moved into just a modular house. They took the wall temporarily off, moved the carriage into it, and put the wall back in again. With the horses as well. Because they didn't really
Nifty.
have a barn or a stable. They literally just took off a wall and then put it back on again afterwards. So you can literally just walk into a house's door, like just the doorway of a house, and then you just see that the carriage is in there with the horses. They're somewhat confused that they've been stored in a house. It's not normal for horses, but they've got feed, and they seem pleased enough.
I think
It
that's where
looks-
Theory's going to end up sleeping.
Yeah,
It's
you
like-
can sleep inside a carriage inside a house.
Yes. And I'll sleep inside a tiny hut, inside a carriage, inside a house.
Oh my god.
There's a bump on the log. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if Theory's gonna be in there, Jeanette can hand her a book of bedtime stories for the eggs. Because technically one of them is her husband's. It's true, though.
It's true.
I mean, yeah, okay. Theory's rather confused by this, but sure. And
Alright.
I guess she read to Astra while she was probably in the womb, too.
Yeah.
Makes Babu
look-
smarter.
And look, it's a totally normal book as well.
I don't believe you.
It's actually true.
It is, yeah. You are given a nice book, and it looks like there have been pages torn out of it, and you realize it's probably because it's quite an old children's storybook, and so there were probably quite a few in there that were very racist. Those have been removed.
Well, that's nice. Revisionists.
She grew up in the closest thing this place has to a Bible Belt.
Yeah.
She grew up in the mountains of Redneckia.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some there's some old stories in there. Some very not nice stories.
But they have been reclaimed.
Alright,
They
so...
were very
Or fed to
useful.
Tambok.
They were very useful to start a fire with, though.
So, yeah, Theory will, thank Jeanette and say that she'll totally read to the eggs, and as soon as Jeanette's gone, Theory will just put the book away and take out the book she used to read to Astra and just read out of that.
Fair enough.
That has nothing but nice stories.
It's the adventures of the smiling puppy.
Exactly.
Cliff of the big red dong.
And then
You're
he
like, where did
eats
that
all
book
the
get in
undead.
there? Yeah, and they're like, where did that book get in there? Slide Clifford the Big Red Dong away. It's
Yeah,
just a werewolf
that's the
form.
one she reads to
That's-
the Jarl when he's, working.
That's for private time.
So, well, it's a fun
turns
time
out-
book doing hidden inside the innocent book. Oh wait, I remember why.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay then. And yes, you can read to the Eggos. The Eggos are eggs.
Alright, they egg.
Speaking of
They egg.
practicing local customs, I'll probably go.
egg.
You know
Get
what?
shiny.
Actually, I think. Does Thyri know which one is the Jarl's? Like, can she tell them apart?
Technically no, but Jeanette would have known which was which, like, when it happened. And so they're probably, since you can imagine it as like a two-boxed cradle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine a long chest, and there is a partition in the middle, just so that there's 4 walls of heat on each egg. So they are partitioned. It's probably likely that one of them just has a name written above it.
Alright, so, yeah, Thyri will figure out which one is the Jarl's,
Yep.
and she will take out, like, her little makeup kit and start drawing on it. She will put, like, big, strong wolves and dragons on it.
Nice. Okay. Would you like to make some kind of test on artistic display?
Sure, why not? I'll
charisma
Anna
or
this.
dex?
It's fine. Just guidance myself, and what's dex you say?
Charisma or dex?
Oh, well, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go charisma. But wait, there's more. There's always more. Okay.
All right, 17. Yeah. Okay then. So you're concentrating on the egg, and you're doing some drawing, and it's pretty good, frankly. Thankfully, you chose to do it with makeup instead of like inks or anything, because those would sink into an egg.
Yeah.
You did it with makeup, which is good. That just sits on an outer layer and will not penetrate into the egg. You don't want to make an eggo sick by drawing on it, guys.
No.
Unless it's an egg that you get out of an egg box and it's quite pasteurized. In that case, if I can go nuts, doodle cocks all over it. It's quite funny.
No. Theory is just gonna make it, she's gonna draw a little wolf mosaic on it. And feel very satisfied with herself and just read until she passes out.
Cool. And yeah, you'll wake up in the morning. There's just your tongue half open. Clifford the Big Red Dong is across your face instead. And you're like, oh yeah, a little bit of night reading.
Yeah, maybe.
How purple is the prose?
The purplest.
It's so fucking purple, you guys.
It's like an entire page just describing
It's
one
just
thrust.
one meta. Yeah, one thrust. It's just the fact the thrust you're not even sure is some kind of like metaphor for other performances that had happened earlier on in the book. It's hard to say.
Her butt was perfectly formed. It was like two phoenix. What was it? What was that? 2 phoenix eggs. It was a fist.
What?
Literally something that someone wrote. Hindenburg Helper from BioWare.
Oh, delightful.
Described a butt as 2 phoenix eggs. It was a fist.
Gross.
Yeah. Then okay then. Let us see here. What else are people doing that evening?
I mean, the Manders were gonna offer Jeanette actual home to sleep in. She don't want to sleep in the carriage.
Yep.
She does that. She's done that before. It's uncomfortable. Searsha's fine.
Yep, Saoirse's set. She's in some salamander's home. In fact, does Jeanette want to try and score some strange for the night?
Why not? It would. They all seemed rather interested.
Yep, hard not to be. You're kind of like a big walking squishy fertility idol.
With backwards legs.
With backwards legs! You are also freakish and alien, which is just interesting, frankly.
Yeah!
Yeah, I do the same.
Alrighty. Persuasion tests, I guess, or whatever you would like to use. Please don't ever say deception. I feel real bad if you succeed on that test. But deceive someone into bed is pretty fucked up.
You're not. To be fair, Viv's not as exotic. She's a tiefling too. We got horns already.
Yeah, I know. Still, I'm master of persuasion.
Now
This
if
is
we
true.
brought Viv to Elf Town.
Down to Elftown?
I mean, she'd still be a tiefling, which would naturally have negatives if you went in a land of tieflings.
I mean,
It's
to be fair, if you're an elf town and not an elf, you get negative from everyone.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a thing. Elves are snooty.
Yep. Disadvantage on every test with them ever. Okay.
I mean, I'm a master of deception too, but I don't need that. I got persuasion.
Yeah, okay. And so, yeah, Viv, you are able to find yourself some company, and they will invite you back to their home for fun.
Neat.
Imagine Ludwig is probably just snoozing, like, beside the horses. Or, well, snoozing, quote-unquote. He's just lying down. He doesn't really sleep, but he can be lying down.
He's just lying down and occasionally just peers his head through the walls of the.
Oh, no, he knows better than to watch. He's not.
No,
Titian.
not that. Of the carriage.
Has he gotten himself to death
Thyri.
yet?
Oh yeah, he's already dead.
Titian,
He saw the feast and already died.
No, I mean, dying is still not fun. Like, it has to be immediately worth it. He will partake of some stuff.
See, what he
He's
actually
over-
did to die today is he followed, like, one of the little sloot couples home and then just got, like, hit by a brick or something when they realized what was going on.
He just got too close to a tail.
Oh god, yeah, that's probably a thing.
Well, looks like we get some fried chicken.
No, it always turns into like mist.
Yeah, he
Alas.
turns into a mist and disintegrates away. Otherwise, he would have already tried eating his own corpse.
Yeah, especially if he died for a feed, he'd be like, "Oh, sweet corn-fed bird." He is a hawk. He would do that.
I taste delicious.
Very true. But yes, Viv goes off with a partner. Oh god. Thyri, Titian, Ludwig. Anna is probably going to end up in the company of fun strangers. Jeanette, and off on her own. We have Cynthia and Astra. And then Henry is escorted to a place and given a cup of tea, and he goes to sleep like a good boy.
Giving cup of tea and a cookie.
Actually, you know, if Henry ends up, like, in or near the carriage, Thyri will totally invite him up to get, like, read a story to with the eggs.
Yeah, sure. He would love to have a bedtime story read.
Excellent.
And yeah, seeing as the carriage is inside a building that has beds, you can just there is a bedroom where he can go to a bed and sleep.
Yeah.
There you go. And then night will fall and the chime will play.
Yay! Fade to black.
Yeah. You know what? It's probably likely that you're all going to be woken up in the morning by a sound. For a moment, you're afraid, like dragged from the dredges of sleep by what feels like thunderous roaring, until you look outside and realize that it's just fucking helling it down.
Is it like sleet or just rain?
It is just rain. You're like right next to the ocean, so the rain never freezes. But if anything, that means it gets fucking colder. I don't know if you've tried putting like salt into a bucket of like ice and water. It makes it colder than ice, and it doesn't, but it still doesn't turn into cubes. So yes, it's very fucking cold.
See, she just makes a sound and just goes back into, rolls over in the cuddle pile.
Yep. She's probably just like sweating from like as though she were in some kind of sauna. She's just in the puddle.
Ah, that's fine. She's got spells for that.
Yep.
Wait, does she have spells for that? She does not have spells for that. Never mind. But she has potions for that. No, she does have a spell for that. Protection from energy. She's fine.
Sure, sure.
Just be resistant to heat.
How long does that last?
An hour.
Okay.
Like, if she ever gets hot, she can just cool down for a little bit and then warm back up again.
Yep. Yes. Cynthia wakes up with a rue and then finds out that it's probably not going to be particularly easy to move from the bed with an Astra still stuck to her.
Ha!
That's fine. It's good position.
It is. It is the spooning position. However, you might feel a bit sore later.
I mean, I could roll for predators, but
Well,
I
they're
think I was about to
specifically
type,
they're
yeah.
specifically trying like to not do any impregnating. Remember that stuff?
Both giving and receiving.
Yes. They don't like creating new generations, and the idea of like putting a child in like Travelers Who Will Leave is kind of quite sad to them. Having kids are like the important thing you do at the end of your generation. So no, they are not going to be taking you on the F train to Cuntsville.
fair enough.
Aw, man, I don't want to go traveling in this weather. Look at this nice warm pile I'm sleeping on.
Yep.
No!
There's just like a bunch of blissed out faces. Some are just on the floor. Half of them are on the bed. Their tails are all out, so they're just asleep. Even this heavy rain, like, maybe wakes up like one or two of them, but they just sort of are too drowsy and sleepy. They just sort of like wave the flame out of their tails again and just doze off more.
You know what? They have the right idea. Jeanette's also going back to sleep.
So the party fucks away an entire day and sleeps.
Well, I mean, not an entire day,
No,
but
no,
it's
of course.
really early in the morning and cold.
It's true. This actual storm probably wakes up a bunch of you, but it's far too early to actually be getting out of bed. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, morning will like eventually happen normally. It's dark, but it is still undisputably a like daytime. The rain has let up, you think, maybe. It's honestly still pissing it down pretty hard, and it is very cold outside. Fresh fires are stoked, though. You realize that this is the kind of village that is pretty much 100% of the time always going to smell pleasantly of wood smoke. It's a good sign. A few of the stickier salamanders, once they're like actually properly awake, will just go out into the rain and have a quick rinse off.
You hear a bunch of hissing sounds.
Yeah. I mean, if water lands on their tail, there is always a little bit of a hiss.
Searsher's just, like, not going to leave the cleavage of one. Just like, no, too cold.
Yeah.
Take-
She's probably stuck inside someone's cleavage. Let's face
Yeah.
it.
Probably.
There are a couple of guys too that look quite pleased with themselves. This fairy makes my dick feel huge.
Yeah. And I guess Jeanette will also come outside, but won't leave the warmth of like a bundle of manders. Just nope, too cold. I know I come from the mountains where it gets really cold, but that doesn't mean I like it.
Yep.
I'm a nerd, damn it. I belong in a laboratory.
I got momentarily distracted by the sight of tiny pancakes being made. Holy shit.
Tiny pancakes?
This is like a Saoirse cooking set.
Hmm.
There you go. It's a little bit enrapturing.
Oh my
The
god.
cook over the little stove as tea lights.
Oh my, that's wonderful.
That is the tiniest whisk.
It just gets better. Like, full attention has been paid to all of it. Turkey bacon. Little itty bitty turkey bacons.
That little stove is so adorable.
I love it all. This is a Saoirse cooking set.
Hey Anna, how great are you at metalworking? You kind of need to make this for Saoirse now.
Tiny breads. Tiny breads.
There's even little tiny oil for it.
Yep. I'm so sorry for derailing this 100%.
No, this is fine. This is fine to
this
derail.
Is great. This is fairy cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, well, it's more like pixie cooking because it's even smaller.
Yeah, it's even smaller than Saoirse, but she doesn't care. They're like hand-sized nibbles.
Using a little towel to touch the little pans. Fried bread. Mm. It's too adorable.
Oh, she is good at smithing. Kinathis, I'm going to need you to make this. I just need to find some cast iron. Well, some iron to cast it. They did bake a tiny loaf. Look how small the loaf is. Look how small the little spatula is to turn the loaf.
It's good. That whole is all of that's amazing.
This
Saoirse
person
needs a Saoirse
clearly,
cooking set.
this person clearly has never like touched the bottle or had coffee in their life because they have amazing dexterity to be able to do this.
Just the amount of attention that went into that, it's amazing.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It's fantastic. I love it. Anyway, sorry about that total distraction. Continuing on.
Yeah.
A bunch of salamanders will head to the longhouse, by which I mean they'll like dash to the longhouse for breakfast because it's pissing it down. Yes, and for some reason, Saoirse dreams of tiny breakfast makings and informs Anna of this fresh new dream.
Anna, Anna, I need you to make something that was from my dreams.
Craft for me adorable tiny breakfast sets.
Just like flies through a window and smacks into her face.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh my god, too cold. It was a mistake. I should have left my salamander. Oh no.
The
We'll talk
process
about
of going from salamander to window to Anna is just like, oh, cold. Cold.
No, I regret this. We'll talk about it later. I'm going back. Send me back.
Yep, flutters back out into the pissing down, freezing cold, salty ass rain,
Why?
and then climbs into a salamander cleavage.
Aha. All right. So,
And yeah, all right then. You arrive in the longhouse for what is essentially breakfast. The elder isn't currently there, admittedly, but there are plenty of young salamanders. You recognize a few dressed up in like hunting party gear. It's a bunch of like probably just different breads and meats. Nothing especially fancy. It's just breakfast fare for, El typical village.
so like, eggs and sausage.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have a special type of dragon chicken and how far away Marlem is from it here.
Alrighty.
So
Yeah. Some of the party could probably use an actual proper bath after a night of youthful salamander fun.
yeah, Jeanette can do that. I've got a lot of chemicals, and there's like some rain just right there. Saoirse, she can. Oh yeah, yeah, she can just clean herself off pretty well.
Prestidigitation.
Huh? She doesn't have that, but she has what was it? Oh no, she doesn't. I forgot that drench isn't a spell in here.
I mean, there's rain already for drenching.
Yeah. Well, she already did get cleaned off by flying through the rain, and each raindrop is like the size of her head. Well, not that big, but still.
Spiced potato pancakes, eggs and bread. Yep, sounds like Anna's got a good choice of foods.
Spicy potato pancakes.
Squiggles will do its boo squeak. Squeak! And be pleased by food. And yeah, some of the young salamanders then will sort of, just posit general questions about the outside world. And one of them will ask you what your plans are for the cave or the temple or the dungeon. They really don't know what it is.
Well, we go there, we scout it out, we see what we can see. Hopefully not an ancient laboratory like last time where I accidentally, released someone's experiments, because that's just rude.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I say accidentally, but I did it on purpose, but I didn't know.
I see.
What else?
Pause for a moment. Nod. You notice that this youngster happens to be, I guess, a little bit more artfully dressed. Those amongst you who have, a bit of an eye for clothing detail would probably figure that this is the Elder Shaman's apprentice. See if I can grab a picture for her. I mean, I would be surprised if I couldn't. I really like that picture for the cutie young salamanders.
Yeah.
Generic young villagers. Let's go with... You're young, you'll work. And we'll call you apprentice. There you go. Get a kick out of that name, I'm sure.
I was halfway.
Apprentice Terenza.
Terentia.
Did I ever give you a name for the elder? I can't remember.
Yeah, I forgot his name though. It was like. Oh no, yeah, I don't think he did because he wasn't introduced in the last one.
That's right. All right then. His name is. He is happy to go by Elder Kar, but his name is Karjav Hakanen.
Yeah.
I was already writing that as well as you put in Hacken. I was like, really?
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell her the basics of the outside world. Like, the races involved, like, humans, obviously. There's orcs, like our good half-orc friend. There's tieflings, obviously. And there are roos. Big ol' werewolves. They're in charge. Well, the werewolves, the wares are in charge in the outside world.
In a neighboring village, we have an elder werebear. I mean, he's not in charge or anything. He's just old, so we call him Elder anyway.
The wares outside of your island are, I guess, through might makes right. They're in charge. They rule over the humans and the tieflings.
John nods slowly. I imagine, assuming for, well, what is technically a mortal, and he's reached quite an advanced age, that yes, a werebear would be quite fearsome in their, youth. Understandable.
Halfway between eggs, Sisha will pipe up, but not the forest. No one rules the forest. They think they do, but they don't.
They speak for the trees.
I speak for the dreams.
Yeah, she'll nod sagely.
Trees don't talk back, silly. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not
How
unless they're
dare
dryads, then they
you.
speak back.
How dare you? We met a very nice tree. You talked back,
I
like, as
didn't
soon
say
as
that
I was
in
born.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't say that in character.
Yeah, Turinja nods slowly. I've been taught something of, well, different arts and talents such as shamanism, druidics, clerics, paladins. I know the gist of these things, of course, but we don't really have a particularly. Well, we don't really have exposure to the Fae. We've never seen one of your kind. Well, to be fair, none of us have seen any of your kinds, although we've known of them.
Mm, the Feywild does stretch out here. I guess all my sisters are just shy. Or very, very small.
It's possible, yes. As I say, we've never seen a full-grown fairy like yourself.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder where all my sisters are. I mean, the green extends throughout, like, the entire world. I'll go check our secret paths. Later.
She'll
After
nod
food.
casually. Of course, won't stop you from doing any such looking. Anna will inform him, where I lived, it's super cold, so much snow, lots of snow, and ice. And she'll nod. You seem less bothered by the natural chill of this island than the others. Are you from the yet further north, the ice plains, the wastes? At which point, Anna will be like, yeah, in her Anna way,
Yeah.
in between mouthfuls of spiced potato pancakes.
Yeah, our main export is ice. Yeah.
I'll be export a shit that is colder than normal ice. Fuck yeah. Because that's saying something.
But where are the things asleep beneath the snow?
Yep. Where are all the nightmares? Your village is surprisingly low on terrifying nightmares.
It's all cuties.
Yep. All Slamalanders, and they killed all the great beasts. Although not this generation. This generation had nothing to do with great beast slaying. So they're only about 30 years on average.
Yeah, we've managed to hunt a couple. We've used them to make different weapons. And an ever-burning torch. And some potions. Maybe at one time an explosive.
Alright. She'll nod slowly. I mean, we'd be happy to show you some of our own, I suppose, goods and specialties. I don't think you have a particularly large group of shamans where you're from, as you have the druids.
We don't... I am not even quite sure what a shaman is.
Oh, well, a shaman is one who reinforces themselves and others with the primal power of spirits. Not like the spirits of mortals, but the spirits of elements.
Yeah, I don't think we have anyone like that. I primarily draw my strength from the arcane and mixing potions.
Yes, some of us are talented enough in matters of the arcane, although most tend to make for great hunters and rangers. And she'll indicate a couple of the young ones that have finished eating already and are, like, essentially slapping on, like, weatherproofed gear.
Their tails have little umbrellas over them.
They literally do have, they look like a stiff leather hood that you would tie to the base of it, like a, sort of like a lantern cover.
Neat.
Yep. Yes, and yeah, they're all getting ready. But that's more a case of necessity. Developing a, solid foundation of hunters and rangers means that we have, well, regular food and safety. And then she will, like, pause and reach into a pouch and pull up a pipe. She, like, leans down to but no, Tel can reach. She probably just, like, hunches her shoulders a little bit and brings her tail up to the edge of the pipe as she inhales gently and brings it to light. Exhale slowly upwards away from faces. On top of goods of a shamanistic quality, we happen to be pretty good at smithing weaponry. Although metal is hard to acquire around here, it is not 100% scarce. And from the very edges of the island, we get very, very limited trade from a number of, what are they, weir tigers?
Yes.
Some of that filters its way here to Broken Tooth Village and gives us things to work on.
I wasn't aware that the tigers could actually reach out this far, but that makes sense. They are wanderers.
She'll nod gently. They don't themselves travel inland at all. I believe they just make it to the docks and then leave yet again afterwards. But there is a, well, minor dock on the edge of this island. She will grin a little bit. Yes, I suppose you might be interested in just heading to this location where the, well, for want of a better phrase, the dungeon is.
Yes. Is there a direct route we could take?
Semi-direct. I would be happy to guide you there if you would permit me some time to ready myself.
Of course, we have time.
Very well then. She'll climb up from her seat, still smoking from her pipe, and make her way out to the longhouse.
Say, before you go, would there be a chance of getting much heavier clothing for us, since we do not possess really any resistance to the cold you have here?
I see, of course. Yes. She will call gently over to one of the salamanders in Draconic and essentially indicate, could you please go and fetch some blankets, some additional warm clothing for them? And she'll nod and skip out. Takes her about 10 minutes to return with like just a large bundle. It looks like they've got a number of extra shoulder capes. They do have like standard tunics, but you realize that all the pants have particularly large holes. Like the waistline, the belt goes over the top of a tail before it clips around the front, and there is obviously a very large gap for a tail to sneak out. So the pants might not be particularly to anyone's liking. Like it's a lot broader than a wolf's tail poking out as well, so that your butt crack would be showing.
Oh no.
And alright. On normal mortals, these tail holes are just butt slut entries. This village is the best.
I mean, I state my statement from earlier. This village is the best.
But yes, presumably that's not an issue if you're putting it on over clothing you already have.
Well, I mean, I already did have like winter gear. I just really
Yes.
failed my role.
Yeah. You can get some time to grow more accustomed to it, but you were moved from one locale immediately to the other. So
Wait, no, I passed. Saoirse failed.
Saoirse failed, yes. It was a bit of a culture shock. I mean, Saoirse could just turn into a bear. Nice big fluffy warm bear.
It's
Everything's
true.
fine. But yes, they will return with a number of extra shoulder capes and some pants. You can see that some of the shoulder capes have like these patches around like the back end of them, and you recognize some of it as fire moss. It's like grown onto what appears to be some like firm plates that have then been like stitched into the cloak itself. So the fire moss isn't attached to the cloak, it's attached to, like very thin metal plates that are on it.
Neat.
Cool.
I just want to add that whilst wearing one of these cloaks, should you get exposed to fire, the cloak itself will not be damaged. The rest of your clothing might get fucked up, but the cloak is effectively fireproof on the outside.
Oh no, exposed to fire and suddenly we're playing empowered.
Yeah, it takes a little bit longer. Savin's okay. Is there anything then that you would like to do in the morning before Torrential returns?
Hang on. Sorry about that. Big ol' yawn. Yeah, I wanted to check out their like they had like God damn it, Emily, can you pull up that thing again? The thing that's in this village page. I can't find it.
Sure, it's just so you're aware, it is underneath handouts in the places section. You have Watchland,
Okay.
Grandest, Ashenhold, and Broken Tooth Village.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, can I look over the shamanistic goods and rare foods?
Yeah, of course. And I would like to do some wood carving? Sure, alright then. Do you have your own wood, or would you like to use some native wood, Kina? Any time to answer that while I look through the shamanistic goods. So, around here they have a number of objects which are specifically like really only useful to a shaman, like channeling items, their equivalent of a spellcasting implement. I mean, they're artful and pretty. They appear to be like wooden tablets or stone runes that have been scored with signs. They smell of like incenses and different wood smokes. They're all channeling goods. When you enter there, you can see that the actual salamander's elder is there, Elder Car. Let's see, that's his name. Is up invisible. Let's go to thing. Same name. See name. See name. Good. All right. Cool. Elder Car is actually there. He appears to be like just munching on some kind of food and sipping. Well, I say sipping, more like just pouring tea into his mouth because he happens to be one of those blessed with a more scaly physique. Welcome to my shop. How can I assist you?
I simply wish to browse your goods. I am an alchemist and apothecary by trade, and your goods will be different than the ones in my land.
Understandable. Please do take a look. I would believe that a lot of this would find very little use with you. He indicates the, like aforementioned, like spellcasting implements such as they were when he gets up from a working bench. Up close, like there is just practically a haze coming off of him. It's entirely possible that Elder Carr likes to wake and bake.
Neat. He's old, he's earned the right.
Yeah, and also he's a shaman. They like to get baked anyway. And 1 second, I'm going to go for a wood carving for Anna. Of course, it's over 20. Why would I ever be surprised?
Good job, Kinathis.
Yep. Anna is working with this wood. It turns out to be like a damned sight more sturdy than most, but it doesn't feel abrasive. Like imagine you already went over to like you did a rough sand, like really loose grit paper just to make sure that there were no splinters coming off of it. Like even as she carves it, that doesn't really seem to bring up those same rough edges.
Even in absentia, Anna still rolls like fire.
Yep. Sweet hot fire. And then we'll find out what it is that Anna is actually carving in a bit. And Keen catches up. But there we go. She is working with some native wood. And yeah, Elder Carr will nod idly. We have other goods, of course. Some talismans, some potions.
Ooh, potions.
He'll nod. I'm assumed an alchemist would show some interest. Here, 1 moment. And he will go around to the back of what you seem to be his home. There's like a grunt, and he will heave back out into the clear room for you. A chest. He opens it up and reveals that there is a very like neatly assorted rack of bottles, some quite thin vials, some actually like jug-sized decantery types. The smell is an overpowering bombardment of chemicals, both natural and otherwise, something you're probably quite used to.
Ah, yes. Smells like home.
No wonder Jeanette's so fucked up.
Yep.
Just breathed fumes all her life.
Yeah, she does. She really does. She's currently in the home of Elder Kazarth looking into shamanic goods. The Elder himself, having been absent to drink tea, eat food, and wake and bake. He's an elder shaman. They like to get high all the time.
Okay. So, what kind of potions are these?
He will list. He's got a number of like the generic potions, so potions of healing and some anti-venoms. There aren't many anti-venoms, but he confesses that there are not really a large number of venomous creatures here. And salamanders are known for their hardiness. He just mostly has them for the point of having a selection.
I have 2 antitoxins. Is that the same as anti-venom?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, yes.
Okay. So, yeah. Anything unique that I haven't seen before?
Oh, but of course. There are ones here that he refers to as Dragon's Breath potions. You consume this, and you gain a once per turn action for 1d6 rounds, where you can breathe a cone of flame. Or if you are some kind of creature with a breath weapon, the cone size is increased by 5 feet, and it becomes the fire quality if it was a different quality.
So, Jeanette's already wondering how this would work with pain bows.
This is true, you can rainbow vomit, and you can even do, what was it, bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage with your rainbow vomit.
I can do a lot of stuff. I can do 1d12 worth of damage with it. It's acid, cold, force, lightning, poison, psychic, thunder, fire, necrotic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. Everything but,
Alright.
I think, radiant.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible that since yours is a very specific type, it would turn your rainbow bath into a breath weapon that is just a mixed type, so it would be fire and then whatever the random was. And
Okay.
yeah, it would become a 15-foot cone, I suppose.
Sold!
Alright. Let's see here. He'll pause. Do you have anything of equivalent worth? We have some money, but not much.
Barter system. That was my next question. Let's find out. Oh, I need to delete some of this stuff. I don't have an ancient hella fucking divine magic orb anymore.
Yep.
No, you do not.
The dragon needed that.
In fact, if you happen to have my original hand on your inventory, you can go ahead and mark that off.
Huh?
Your hand blew off.
Yeah, but I just assumed it, like, because I was holding it, it shredded into a million pieces.
Yeah, it got fucking blown to fucking chunks. Yeah, it's like if your original hand is still on that list, it's gone.
Let's see now. I've got, like, silver arrows, I've got deadly splash vapor, potions of healing. I no longer have those fem potions. Gave those to Nat.
Yes, he is interested in your splash vapors. He has little use for a silver arrow, as you would expect. They don't have lycanthropes on this land, on this isle, apart from one, a very old man that he doesn't really want to assassinate with a silver arrow.
Tell me more about this one little old man.
Sure. It is, he's closer to the dock side of this island. They have a very, very small dock where weretigers will occasionally turn up to trade.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just a very old werebear.
Interesting. Does he have a name, or?
Sure. His name is... They call him Elder, even though he is not an elder as they know them. He's just a really old man. Yeah, he's barely alive. Elder Carlson.
Okay. I was vaguely hoping it'd be the old werebear from, what's it called?
Oh, that guy's hella fucking dead.
Yeah.
In this timeline, that revenge happened. That revenge did eventually happen, because those two are off on fucking mystical adventures now in the mainland. He fucking dead.
Rip.
He got killed by the beast.
Yep, Walter Beast got him. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The beast that got him.
Mm-hmm.
No darn beast.
See, this beast wouldn't be put down if I happened to have brought my old 12 gauge with me, but I did not. So he done got him. Baby, crop's done dried, baby done dead.
Scruffy will die as Scruffy lives.
Scruffy died as he lived.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No evil party to save him, indeed. He fucking got what he deserved. But yes, he is interested in those potions of splash vapor. Like other potions and alchemical goods he can obviously get a use out of. He'd happily trade Dragon's Breath for them 1-for-1.
Oh, okay. Sure.
How many splash vapors did you have?
I have 3. I'm willing to give up 2. I need to save 1 for my own research.
Of course. All right, then, yeah, he will trade you 2 Dragon's Breath potions. I will add them to the alchemical goods section. Dragon's Breath Potion. For 1d6 rands. Receive a once per round bonus action to breathe draconic flame in a 15-foot cone.
Is Dragon Breath a spell in this game anymore?
I don't know.
I think
it is, yeah.
Okay.
It came out in Xanathar's, I think.
Its range is
Okay.
increased by 5. And becomes fire damage.
Because I remember that it wasn't around when I was reading the Draconic Bloodline thing, which was weird, because Draconic Bloodline has always had Dragon's Breath. Or was it? And I just misread Breath Weapon. Never mind.
I think
It's
the
been a really long
Draconic
time.
Bloodline does get a breath weapon of some kind. No Dragonborn do.
I get confused with that in Pathfinder.
Reflex save equal to DCs. Let's see here.
I don't think the Draconic-born actually do get a breath weapon.
No, they don't. They do increase damage of their type, but I guess it's just Dragonborn who get it now.
Hmm.
There we go. There is no section right there below Deadly Splash Vapor for Dragon's Breath Potion. For 1d6 rounds, you receive a once per round bonus action to breathe Draconic Flame in a 15-foot cone. If you already have the breath weapon
bonus
type,
action?
the range. Yep, the range is increased by 5 and becomes fire damage, or splits damage in the case of randomized damage. So, for instance, the Pain Bow would become fire plus whatever is in it. The normal damage of Dragon's Breath is 3d6 plus 2, with a reflex save equal to your own spell saving DC. It's a good potion.
It is a good potion. Pity my spell save is so low, but rather than make an optimized build, I chose Medic, because it made sense.
Yep. Most people don't have a massively high spell save, but it's for half, because it's a reflex. Did I put in for half? I might have missed that.
I don't know.
Chemical goods. For half. Reflex save for half equal to. I need to change that too.
I should drink a potion of that in combat, because I do bonus damage anytime I do fire damage.
It's very true. You could certainly head down and try and do some bartering with him. He has 4 more of those potions to trade.
Well, I have 0 money, so...
He does
High
bartering
charge.
as opposed to money trading anyway, if you have something that he would be interested in.
I have basically nothing other than permanent magic items.
Let's have a look at, yeah.
And my 2 potions of healing, which he can't have. I need those.
Yeah, to be fair, he's got potions of healing, so that wouldn't be an interesting trade for him.
So yeah, other than that, all I have are my magic items. I don't have any cool potions or anything.
Someone else might be able to do some trading for you.
I have 19 weeds I wrote on my character sheet.
You do have
Yeah.
some of that dank herbs.
19
You have
whole
19
marijuanas.
weeds. Yeah, you have a whole bunch of weeds. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Oh, that's good.
Two.
Yeah, he might be interested in that.
You
Don't
would be
forget-
interested in your foreign dank herb.
And don't forget, we also have foreign great beast parts.
You do have great beast parts, and that's the thing that they don't have access to anymore because they're all dead here.
Yeah, that's true.
He would trade for beast parts. That's a good point, Kina.
What?
Kina said it in the chat. I thought that's where you read it.
Oh no, I just
Good idea, both of you.
How many weeds for a potion?
How many weeds for a
How
potion?
many weeds?
He'll trade you his dank herb for your dank herb, just to exchange foreign goodness.
Sure.
Alright, rock and roll. Okay, you can trade in as much as weed as you would like for some dank dragon grass.
Let's give him 9.
Alright, 9 weeds. You now have 9 dank dragon grasses. Good shit. Okay then. Yeah, so he has a number of other potions. So let's see here. The Dragon's Breath ones are unique to this area, but he is capable of producing potions, replicating up to level 3 abilities. Primary cleric ones. He doesn't have the ability to do like level 3 evocation things. That Dragon's Breath potion is basically as close to that as you're going to get. But he can produce potions for you to have done later as well if you make requests. Which he would be willing to do for great beast parts. That is definitely something that he does not have easy access to. You love this game because I'm just happy to just let you all lavish in butt sluttery and dank weeds.
Yep.
Pretty much, and the world is fantastic, Scout.
I'm glad
But
that you
mostly the butt sluttery and weed.
Mostly the butt stuff and the drugs.
It's pretty fun stuff, that stuff.
Hey,
That's
Tasha, don't do that.
What is that? Did you just say bite ankles again, Papa?
Dude, that is literally what she was... Oh, no, she didn't bite my ankle. She smashed it with her rope, wanting to play with me.
See,
want some
Tasha, what you gotta do is bite his ankles. That'll get his attention.
Yeah.
Eh.
You want some fucking rope?
This dog is so strong, you guys.
Of course, she's a husky. And you're a weedy, chubby Jewish man.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do for a living? I don't know, right? Yeah, I think the husky's gonna overpower you, dude.
But my incredibly strong right arm.
It's true, but it doesn't do a pulling motion. It does an uppy-downy motion. The muscles are only strong that way, so you need to hold the rope up.
All right, come here, Tasha. Let's try it.
See, you're winning now.
I am.
See, his muscles have only developed in a very set way.
See if you guys can hear this panting, too.
I mean, usually there is panting going on when there's just a vigorous arm motion sometimes. Vaguely. I can vaguely hear doggo noises.
Yeah.
I can hear her adorable jingly collar.
Get out of here, dog. Scram.
But yes, if you would like him to replicate level 3 like cleric abilities into potions for you, and you're willing to trade great beast parts, please do consult your bunch of shit that you got and see what you would like. Of course, you can do level 1 and 2, not just 3. That would be a really weird specialization to have. I can only do amazing potions, sorry.
I mean, I only make amazing potions, too.
Well, no, you can still do lower spells, you just do it with high-ass spell slots. In fact, if I remember rightly, if you try and make a potion of, light healing, and it's like, well, you use the level 1 spell slot as part of this, you're forced to use up high-level spell slots, so you still get the same fucking potion, because warlocks.
What?
Potions.
Oh, yeah, no, remember, we don't have lower-level spell slots.
Exactly. Your spell slot is always high, but you have the ability to, say, for instance, you had a lower-level spell and wanted to render that down to a potion. It's not like that potion suddenly acts as though it's a high-level spellcast, because it's a potion. It just does its baseline. So that would be actually quite wasteful in your case.
And that's also not how...
healing, bam! It's not how potion working happens normally, but this game has weird magic crafting rules.
Yeah. Damn you weird rules.
You had me at weird rules. Okay.
How about a potion of
Delightful.
lesser restoration?
Yeah, that's a thing that could be produced. So let's have a look at that level 3 cleric spell list.
Actually, if you want to find a friggin' potion to buy from this guy, get another grow your arm back potion for next time that happens.
I don't think regenerate limb is a level 3 cleric spell.
Probably not.
I mean, you get a potion of animate dead. That'd be fucking weird.
I mean, just drain it down the dude's corpse's throat.
mouth, and it would get up and do things.
It wouldn't be under anybody's control, but...
But I mean, you'd still be under the whole entire slaughter all undead, purge the unclean.
Oh yeah, I
and
mean,
heretics
obviously I would
alike.
never do that, but...
Let's see.
Hypothetically.
Having a potion of remove curse would probably also be beneficial if.
God damn it! Of course, D&D Beyond. I'm like, what was the Feigned Death spells? Like, this part is the player handbook digital content pack. God, fuck off. I just want to look at it. Why do I have DLC in this shit?
Because you gotta buy all the rule books, because otherwise wizards don't make no money.
They make fuck tons.
Yeah, but nowhere near as much as the magic department does, and therefore they need to make more money. So Big Daddy Hasbro doesn't come close them down.
Fucking stupid piece of goddamn garbage.
Hi.
Yep. Let's see here. So
Hi,
I mean,
Tasha.
you could do potions with protection from energy. Fucking remove curse as a potion would be probably pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What was revivify? Oh my god, revivify.
I was told we weren't allowed to take that sort of magic.
Yeah,
so.
I just forgot that level 3 spells is literally the instant res spell. Like, that's so fucking crazy. Potion of speak with dead. Glug.
You could get the Jesus potion and walk on water.
You could get a potion of water walk. Or lava. God, lava is just silly. Oh no, you do take damage from walking on lava still. But you can walk on lava.
I mean, Revivify is basically magical CPR. It's only within 1 minute.
It's still too close to resurrection, I'm afraid, because it could work in some pretty fucked up situations.
You're a pile of ash. Revivify!
No, that doesn't work. They have to have a body.
I assume you couldn't make a potion of mass healing word.
No, that would be weird.
Yeah, I thought it'd be weird. It just wouldn't make sense
Or
to do that.
would it be
Unless it's
science?
unless it's a potion of mass healing word and you have to all suck it out of a hookah.
I mean, is that really the worst idea?
No, it's not the worst idea. It's not really what one would consider battle convenient. But yeah, so if you'd like to consider any potions, you can look up Great Beast Pass to Trade. Keener as well, if there are things that you want, type them out. Otherwise, Terentia will guide you to where this quote-unquote dungeon is meant to be.
Yeah, let's go do a dungeon. That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Potion of
looting.
tongues.
Let's go.
How about that?
Looting.
Yeah, you can get a potion of tongues if you wanted to speak languages.
Giggity.
I mean, that's probably not what Vid thought that potion was for, but yeah, sure.
Aw, yeah, but yeah, you could learn languages. Aw.
I mean, it still sounds fucking useful as hell, you know?
Yeah, and it's very useful.
See, I'm contemplating a list here. Thinking stuff beyond the regular heals, you know?
Yeah, sure. It gives me time to do more rune prep on this dungeon.
Okay.
A potion of feigned death could be interesting.
Yeah, I was saying, I was looking up that spell, but I can't do that because it's in D&D Beyond. What does Feign Death do?
Yes.
Well, of course, but
you-
mechanically.
It does
It-
literally
yeah.
what you think it does. It just makes you appear dead to anyone who looks at you.
That's a
Ow,
pretty cool
God damn it, dog.
Rue.
I'm gonna eat you.
Yes, what she thinks. Oh, God. Oh, no, she's in my lap. Hi, baby.
Did you get fired at?
Nah, she jumped in my lap, and now
Okay.
she just lives here now.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, so if you're after a potion of Feign Death, or Tongues, or whatever, let's see what great base bits you've got to trade.
Bunch.
You have a shit ton.
Yeah, we don't ever use them.
This
Oh,
is
well,
true.
I mean, I use them on other stuff. We'd never have enough downtime for me to make stuff.
I never have enough
No.
money to make stuff.
Like,
So there's the
Fucking
giant
perpetually
stuff
poor.
is-
like
I mean,
I
it's
really
a good
want.
thing we're going to a dungeon then. We can actually get some money off of this
You-
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Probably good.
I need to
I
get,
actually-
like, my husband to give me a fucking credit card or something. Jesus.
Platinum card for Jarls.
Yeah, really. Like, just fucking Bill Bulgriff, please.
I have so much like cold blood and stuff like that. I've been wanting to make boots of the Winterlands, but I just haven't had time.
You can only spend so much time just whiling away building things, I'm afraid.
I know, I know. It's it's just I'd love to create magic items, but
Gotta
takes a
be out
while.
here saving the world and doing random quests for dragons and shit.
Also I'm not a tailor. I
I
can enchant them.
Correct.
And you have no idea how good boots of the Winterlands are. I'm going to be spending so much money and parts on that. I have gives you resistance to cold damage, and you ignore difficult terrain created by ice or snow. And you can tolerate
Pretty good.
temperatures as low as -50, and if I have winter clothes, I can tolerate temperatures as low as -100 degrees Fahrenheit, by the way.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
So, like, a full third of all the great beast parts I have in my inventory are slated for that. And it's a magic item that's going to take a while.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the
Alright.
stuff in, the stuff in, like, the loot is just up for trading and stuff like that. Although there's 12 pints of burning blood left, not 14.
12 pints. Okay. Alright, so yeah, you have plenty of shit to trade should you want some potions.
So, Thyri, how about that dragon's breath?
I'd love to have a potion of Dragon's Breath.
You have
Alright.
free access to the loot. Go ahead and trade something.
Okay. What would he like in exchange for potions of Dragon's Breath? I have a husky trying to French me. I'm sorry.
One large piece of something, some...
Like a
Probably
giant tooth.
Yeah, he would accept a large tooth and a couple small teeth.
Let's see. Let me check out the loot real quick. I feel like we have a bajillion large teeth. Oh no, we only have 10 large teeth. Are those large or small teeth from the Vor child?
They would be classed as... Well, there's quote-unquote medium teeth, I guess is the best way to describe it, but it's like... Yeah, they would be small teeth.
Okay. There. Let's give him God damn it. Would he like claws instead of teeth?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Claws also work in the same.
Let's give him the large claw and 2 small claws from the Storm Beast.
Okay. One large claw, 2 small claws. Alright. Yep, and he will give you a potion of Dragon's Breath for that.
Yes. I wonder if it's on the SRD here.
Might be.
Dragons.
Oh, I already looked up Dragon's Breath. It's not there.
Lamb. Okay.
Hmm. Dragon's Breath is in Xanathars, I think.
Yeah, that means it's not on the SRD.
Yeah. Here we go.
I guess-
Second level transmutation, and you brew it with the power to spew magical energy, blah blah blah.
Excuse
Acid,
you.
cold, fire, lightning, or poison. 15-foot cone, dex, or 3d6. So it's very close to the spell, actually. I'll be damned. I fucking pulled those numbers out my ass. I nailed it.
Look at
Slightly
you
better
being a
than
game
Dragon's Breath.
designer.
I know, right? It's slightly stronger than the Dragon's Breath transmutation, and you cast them as bonuses. You would like to gift your statue of the big dragon to the village. How large is this statue then? It might take you time to create that. Okay. If anyone else would like to try and like acquire
Typing
things.
them out.
Okay, cool. And yeah, he will produce them for you to have ready like later. It'll take him some time to make things. Unless it's one he's got in stock, which I can check for, if it's a more obvious thing that someone might stock. The specialty of shamans is that they actually do potions with spells. Alright.
There we go.
Remove curse, remove protection from poison, and tongues. Okay, sure. He will produce those for... Let's see here. He would probably like some blood and some bones for that.
Okay. So you can probably give up some strong aqua blood there, right? Guys?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, he will take off your hands. Roll me 1d2. Okay, he will take it off of your hands for 4 pints of strong aqua blood.
Okay.
And let's see here. Are you going to give him large bones or small bones?
Let's go large.
Okay, cool. He'll take it off your hands as well for 4 large bones.
Also, did you see Kina's thing?
Just the size of a human bust. Okay, cool. Yeah, they will happily accept that and proudly place it at the head of the older side of the table. Seems like a cool thing.
Okay,
They're
I'm
very
marking down
appreciative.
off the loot. Thank you.
Have you marked it off, or would you like me to? Sorry.
I said I've already marked it off.
Okay, cool. Where'd you get the large bones from?
The storm the storm beast.
Cool. Excellent. All right then. Yeah, and he will produce those. It will take him a couple of days, but he'll happily produce those for you. Oh my god. It's the same time as me not wanting you to get far into this dungeon so that Kina can also do it. There are parts of this dungeon I really want you to get to so bad.
Well, then let's go, fucker.
Let's
All
get
right.
our loot on.
Okay then. So yes, you make your preparations. You see to the shaman. Terentia will locate the rest of you. And all right then, are you ready to head off? She's dressed in some thicker robes. You can see there are a bunch of like medicine pouches strapped to her leg.
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay. She will, something that you've probably not seen massively often, pull out an umbrella. Umbrellas do exist in this setting. You've seen them before, but you've probably not seen an umbrella that is so heavily reinforced. But that's to hold up to what is probably quite some punishing rain. Would you like a few of these?
Oh, yes.
That'd help.
Couldn't hurt.
All right. I must confess, these are loners. We only have so many.
Totally fine.
But yeah, all right. She'll hand each of you one of these reinforced, braced umbrellas. It looks like there is, like, for the most part, it appears to be leather and bone, but where there are joints for folding and opening, there is like a very small amount of metal. So it's obviously just like they're making do with the resources. It's quite resilient, certainly more resilient than any average umbrella.
Marked on character sheet. One loaned braced umbrella.
There's no point marking it down. You're only going to have it up to the entrance, and then she'll like take a bunch back with her since she can't go in.
Still.
Yeah, all right. But yes, I'm going to start grabbing your tokens in preparation. The journey's going to be a couple of hours of walking. She recommends like not taking your carriage and horses because they'll just get miserable and sick while you're inside. That's if you come out at all. If you don't, she promises she'll take care of your stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
sure you will.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Amxal, don't confuse the lady.
Squints for a moment before shrugging. Okay. Yeah. By the way, considering she's offering to take care of your stuff, did you ever tell her about your ego, Stray?
I mean, no.
Okay.
But I should. In the carriage there are a couple eggs that I'm hatching. While I am away, can you please read them a bedtime story?
She'll blink slowly. A bedtime story? TRX? Well, of course, yes, and I'm happy to do so.
I will hand her a book.
What race are these, She looks at the book. What race are these eggs of yours?
Half human, half drake.
Interesting.
It's science.
Of course. Okay, then.
I don't know how long gestation takes for them, though. But other than that, they're still alive and healthy. It's
Very
good for
well.
them to listen to. It's good for them to listen to stories.
As you say. Okay, then. Yes, I'd be happy to do so. And she will accept the book and peer into it. Okay, then. Folds it up and hides it underneath like a messenger bag that she's got. Now then, I moved your characters into here by copying them all over. Where's resetting lighting?
Mhm.
It's on the sidebar near the bottom. I think it's under Fog of War.
Okay.
Just reset Fog of War, I think.
Right. Here we go. Reset fog. Yep. Excellent. Okay. Eventually, you are brought to an entryway. It appears to be like the foot of this mountain. Well, to them, as they say hill. To you guys, small mountain. The foot of this mountain. And it's it just looks like a normal cave entrance up until you reach the front opening of it, at which point the apprentice trencher will pause and confess that she can go no further. It would cause her literal pain to do so. She will ask for her umbrellas back.
I will hand her mine.
Of course.
Yep.
We'll see you in a few while. Don't know how long we'll be
A
down
few
there.
while, indeed.
Well,
like
I
that.
certainly hope that we can see you again, but otherwise, thank you for the things. We'll take care of your eggs.
Yay! Adventure!
All right.
Saoirse pipes up.
Yep. As you enter the cave, you will feel like this prickling sensation over your skin, and then it passes. And there is a doorway. It appears to be carved of sheer stone, but you can see that there are handholds built into it. There is a heavy layer of dust, like on the door itself. Close to the cave's like floor, you can see that like most of that dust has probably been swept by like wind and rain quite regularly. There's a bit of a musty smell to the place. But no animals have made home in it, at the very least.
Musky.
There's a couple spiders in here, though.
Nope.
Spiders? Really? Spiders
Nope.
are everywhere.
Nope, no animals in this cave.
Saoirse will just hop down and start crawling. I'm a spider, I'm a spider, I'm a spider. I'm a spider, I'm a spider, I'm a spider. And then like halfway through her cadence she turns into an actual spider, but she still does the singing, walking thing, and you hear chittering that sounds like I'm a spider.
Awesome. Alright, there is now a spider in the cave.
I'm gonna detect
Oh.
magic in the cave.
Sure. You cast Detect Magic, and you feel like a dull throbbing behind your eyes. There is, like, it feels sort of like a migraine might creep up on you gradually if you keep focusing too hard, but casting it around the room. The, like, inside of the cave where you just walked through and felt that prickling sensation, you can make out, like, 3 clear splotches of, like, high-density magic, although it seems to be currently inert, and there is a smaller field that you've walked through. The door itself appears to be lightly magical, probably something to keep it from eroding. But otherwise, it's not too potent, but there's definitely a lot of magic beyond that door, but you can't sense through it.
What are these splotches in here? Like, what are they on?
They just appear to be, like, in the surface, the wall itself.
Am I supposed to be seeing a different page than the village?
No, not yet.
Okay, because I heard splotches. Never mind. Mine must have just been description.
No, I described splotches. Splotches of, like, high-density magic.
I'm gonna point where those are out to Cynthia and suggest maybe she wants to go put her keen eyes to work.
Sure, why not? What would you like me to roll for this kind of thing?
Activate
Perception test
Rue
or
Vision.
investigation.
I'm sorry, can you say that? I didn't hear it.
Perception or investigation.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
You don't notice anything. Well, no, actually, it's impossible not to notice that like that edge of like cave wall that you've walked beneath has some carving done to it. But you don't pick up any useful details with your vision.
Sorry, Thyri, but can't really make anything out too well in these.
Oh, well, if there's nothing there, then there's nothing there. And Thyri will, like, take out her lantern and start lighting it up as we proceed inside.
Sure thing. And then I'm gonna take you to a new room. You push at the door and open it, and you open out into a clear space. It's a sheerly carved stone entryway, like a cube all the way around with a raised dais in the center. When you look behind you, there is no door.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
You are in a room. A staircase descends downwards into a, like, not particularly lit floor. Everything appears to be of this smooth cut marble. Oh, wait for pets. To come back, so I don't have to describe it twice.
Well, while we're waiting, can I, like, take my staff and just poke the wall where we came from? Be like, is that an illusion or what?
Okay, yeah, sure. When you inspect it, and also, did you have Detect Magic still live?
No, but I can cast it again if need be.
Okay.
I imagine shit's magical.
Yes, you would get the answer. Shit's magic, yeah. When you tap at the wall where a door was, you hear, like, you know, normal door sounds coming from it.
Okay, so illusion.
Maybe.
I'm gonna run my hand around towards where, like, the knob was and see if I can open it.
No, it is a sheer surface. There is no seam, no nothing. It looks as pure cut marble as the rest of this room. For all intents and purposes, it felt like a door when you were, you know, making sound off of it, but it's definitely a wall.
Yep, it's definitely a wall.
Yeah.
Weird.
Could Anna use stone carving to figure out what's been done to the walls? She can certainly give it a go. I'll do the test. And let's see here.
Well, you can certainly try.
Yeah. Stone carving. Of course, it's a craft skill, so she's amazing again.
Yep. As always.
As Anna is wont to be. Alright, she goes over the same, but she also taps the rest of the wall as well. Like, it's sheer and it's smooth all the way around, but, like, the wall that was probably a wall makes a very definitely different sound. But even as she goes across it to this where a door should be, it feels the same. It's identical. It definitely looks identical, it feels identical, but there's almost certainly a door meant to be there.
There's also a tent meant to be here.
Are you pulling him out of your bag?
Yeah.
Sure, give me a moment. Let's grab ourselves a Tambork.
Can you put Saoirse to front so she doesn't go behind?
Sure thing. There you go. And also there's
Thank
a
you.
temp. Put him to back because he's big.
Saoirse's just gonna skitter on the walls.
Alright, cool. And yes, there is that there. A Tambork there. Pets, are you back and with us?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay then, so the
Sorry, I thought I
center
said
of that's fine. Just making sure. The center of the room is a raised dais of like, it looks like wood, and it feels like wood. Doesn't even feel like particularly special wood, but it's, you know, it hasn't rotted over however long it's been here. Nothing about it seems to ping off your magical senses, however. And then there are carved stones. Each step is like marble perfection. Indeed, you might have to be careful walking down it if you had like wet feet, because it would be very slippery. It's a very sheer surface. Also, I want to add that I did a thing that felt nearly impossible, and I've got it just about as perfect as I could get, and that is stretching a map so that the grids match up. Holy shit. It is
How?
it is like a millimeter out, but it does not lose scale as you go through it, so I'm gonna be happy with that.
Not
Very
bad.
good job.
It took fucking ages.
You must be a wizard. Some kind of wizard, even.
I am some kind of wizard. Looking into the dais, those of you who can see down there. Sorry, looking down the stairs, those of you who can see down there, are what appear to be 4 dusty light stacks, and you can see 2 dusty statues. There is a door at the end of the hall that appears to be made of normal wood.
Well, I suppose the only way to go is forward, so let's start heading that way.
Sure. Titian does a heckin' flap inside. Indeed, can you, by the way, have Titian do an intelligence test for me, please?
Sure. That is the thing I can do. Let's see, intelligence. Bloop. Meh.
Alright. I mean, something about this rings a bell with Titian, just like creation-wise, but it seems like, I mean, he confesses that like marble carving, not really an elf thing, but the style is definitely similar.
Oh shit, I don't think I've ever been on the player's side of Advanced Fog of War.
Have you never? Oh, you're in for a fucking treat. I need to look and see how it looks on your stream. Yeah, it's very cool. I do like it.
So what's up with these 2 statues here?
They appear to be rough-shorn stone. Their features are ragged and chipped. Like the features, like stature-wise, they seem to be the perfect representations of, you know, broad-shouldered, muscly humans. Although the quality-wise, they appear to be like almost just quite rough, is the way to put it. Like they haven't gone to incredible detail instead, but you can see, indeed Anna can confirm that like whoever did this is actually super good at carving. They got the fingers and feet right.
Well, you know what that means. Time for Titian to perch. Boop.
Yep, perches. It's a good perch. It's a high perch. He gets to perch on a bicep. So yo, what's up? I'm on a bicep. I'm perched.
Alright, well, since there doesn't seem to be anything too out of the way with the statues, let's check out the door here.
Sure thing. It appears to be a plain wooden door.
Alright, let's push it open.
You attempt. The door does not open. To be fair, when you push on it gently, you realize that the door probably pulls open as opposed to push, but it does not open right now anyway. When you then give it a pull, there is a what appears to be a rudimentary lock.
Well, good thing
I
we have a
am
rope.
going to investigate
Sure.
for
thing.
traps.
Sure.
23.
All right. So you're looking over this door for traps, and you can see no evidence. However, like even looking down the seam of this doorway, you can't feel a draft coming through. You can see that the lock only appears to be like, one locking bolt in the middle of it. But when the door is pushed and pulled, it doesn't rattle like you would expect from something that's only being locked by one central bolt. So there's probably something magic going on here. You don't detect any traps.
Okay. So, thieves' tools?
Yeah, these tools it up.
I will guidance Cynthia.
I should describe again. These are not pillars. They are light stacks. You know how you would have a series of like open jars with fuel on the bottom of them with little openings. You'd light them up and it would fill a hallway with light, a la like ground-based lanterns.
No.
Okay, I'll try and just fucking draw you an example. So like from the ground, that's a lantern, and then there'd be an opening here and an opening here, and then further up, and you put it in light and it lights it up like a 3-based lantern with fuel in the bottom of each pool. And there are 4 of those. These are light stacks.
Okay, cool. Then Thyri will take over behind the light stacks and take comfort in their radiance.
They need to be lit before that.
Oh, they're not lit. Okay. Right,
Correct.
I guess I'm just letting off light.
You are carrying a lantern, and you have dark vision.
Well, I guess I will light them, and then take comfort in their radiance.
Okay, cool. At the same times, Jeanette is going to attempt to thieves' tools the door. Is that correct?
Yep.
And I'll assist her so that she has advantage on it.
Okay, I'll guidance
Okie dokie.
Jeanette.
Alrighty, then make your test, please. Alright. Your thieves' tools do not break when you attempt it. But like, and you can feel where they slip into like the perfect slots of a tumbler, but they aren't moving. Like you twist, you try to get it to click, you try to anything. Like these thieves' tools, you might as well be pushing on the impression of what a lock should feel like. It won't move, but you can find all the tumbler spots as though there were a key there.
Tricksy elves.
And then it loosens up a bit, and when you look over your shoulder, you realize that that happened in time with Thyri lighting up one of these light stacks. There is a lot of dust. Yep. Like one of the tumblers actually becomes like an actual tumbler that you can like lift up. There are still a number more.
I will go around the room and light the remaining ones.
Sure thing. And as you do so, Jeanette, you can tell that each tumbler is loosened. And with a 22, like, that's no problem. It's a very rudimentary lock. The moment that it becomes a normal rudimentary lock as well, you can feel a draft from the door, like the crack in it, as though now it is an actual real door and behaves with door physics.
I'm gonna look inside this light stack. What kind of fuel is in there?
When you look inside, you can see that it is a thin puddle of oil. You wouldn't have thought it would be enough to keep it lit for a particularly long time, but it isn't running out.
I know the tale of the Maccabees. I know what's going on here.
I, on the other hand, don't.
One of the tales told during Hanukkah.
Alright. Yeah, oh yes, of course. Hanukkah.
Yeah.
You didn't pronounce it with enough phlegm.
The Maccabees. There you go.
Yeah, here you go.
Sufficient phlegm.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Alright,
the door will now pull open. Just go into your dynamic lighting. Grab you. Doot, doot, doot. And it appears to be a normal cave. When you open it, you can see that this is like a solid stone floor. It's not rough in the sense that like there's jutty parts. Like it has obviously been cut to be a floor. It's not perfectly smooth though. It's obviously like hard stone. There is floating like flowers and moss. Like they're maybe an inch off the ground. The air itself is sweet, like a glade you've been in before, and temperature, although cool, is not too chill, not too hot.
Hmm.
You're probably feeling quite
Interesting.
warm in your cold weather gear, actually.
Hey, Thyri or Jeanette, you two know anything about weird floating plants?
No, but I'd like to.
Yeah, you can see that there are like glowy, not glowy, but colorful flowers and mosses, except where they would be level with the ground, they sort of appear to be floating an inch off of it. Jeanette, you're the first to step onto the stone ground, and it feels like normal. You aren't, however, floating like off of the ground by some nearly imperceptible amount. Saoirse is delighted. It's very pretty here, and she spots something down in the middle. It looks like crystal clear water and something green and glowy, like a great big sphere. And a number of smaller green plinths around it.
Interesting. Sorry, also fighting waves of nausea now. Don't know what's going on.
Someone got Taco Belled too hard.
Food poisoning.
I might actually have to call in for work. It wasn't bad when I woke up, but it's all consuming now. Okay.
That is quite rough.
Uh,
We will go not much longer.
no, it's fine. So can Saoirse make a nature check to see what's going on with these plants while I make an Arcana check?
Sure.
Okay. I leaned over for a minute and completely forgot what I was doing. Okay, I got a nat 20. And Saoirse, what are you doing? Saoirse, what's your nature? And she got a 10.
Okay.
She's distracted by how cool it is. She can't figure out what it is because it's just so cool.
It is very cool. Okay then. When you're like, having a look at this, when your Arcana senses, like, what you're seeing is undoubtedly the product of magic. However, it doesn't feel magic. Like, nothing in this at all feels magic. Like, even that door that was magic when you, look back at it, doesn't feel magic to you. Now, there are answers to this, of course, and the simplest one might very well be that there is some kind of spell making everything, not detect as magic. Because if this were built by, I don't know, a very magical person, and indeed it's something you've witnessed before in the tower, it would be headache-inducing for everything to ping your magic radar all the fucking time.
Alright, be right back. I gotta call in for work.
Don't worry,
I can barely
we'll
move.
wrap up.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about me. Continue on. If I don't move, it's not too bad, but...
But okay. And anyone who approaches as well, moves into this clearing, this place does not feel magical to you. I mean, what you're looking at is impossible, floating plants and flowers and stuff, but it's not pinging off that magic radar at all. This whole place is not detecting.
Interesting.
But yeah, if this place were hella shit's fucking magic, then you probably would be getting a terrible headache anytime you ever try to detect magic. It would be awful for you. So, seems like common sense. If you're that magical, you might as well also make it so that it doesn't make you ill to be here. Indeed, it's so wonderfully pleasant. The temperature is just right, and it smells like a sweet glade. Titian will flitter on in and perch on your shoulder and announce that this is a good smell. This is one he has smelled before.
Oh, where?
It's an elven glade, obviously, he says. I mean, he doesn't recognize the flowers ever floating in one, but this is that primo suite. This is that good air.
I see. And you said the structure didn't look elven either.
The style was a little bit elven, but they're not known for their, working with stone or marble and stuff like that. That's really not our jam. Like, sure, stone will happen in walls, but that's if you carve out a cave. No one fucking does marble like that. No one does that with marble, to be fair. It's hard to find that stuff.
Right. Interesting. Looking at some sort of like proto-elf.
Maybe. I mean, the High Elves go back about as long as the dragons do.
There's a thought. Ooh, I wonder if salamanders are really just high elves and dragon crossbreeds.
Fishin will ponder on that. I mean, not impossible. Weird, but not impossible. I mean,
Anyway.
it would be kind of weird for a dragon to go porking an elf, but you know, whatever. It would have been weird for them to fuck a tiefling too, but they're far stretchier.
Really? I've heard all sorts of things about elves.
High elves not as stretchy as the other elves. Not that I would know from experience, of course. Shifty bird eyes.
Of course.
Cynthia, stop.
Okay.
You attempt to go down the stairs, and you feel a wave of revulsion. Can you give me a wisdom save?
I can. And I feel this is yeah. We'll say that. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so as you approach and you feel this wave, like, you have the wherewithal to just step back, and that sensation is gone. Something is preventing you from going further comfortably. And also, can you give me a
Interesting.
perception?
I can, yes.
When you tried to step down that stair, there was fucking movement in the water below this orb. It is not as shallow as it looks.
Oh, it isn't, huh? Interesting.
No, it is not.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So, guys, that water is not shallow, as one may think. I got a bad feeling from over that way.
I'm going to cast light on a rock, and I'm going to give it to Titian and ask him if he would ferry the rock over to the pool. Just on the edge.
Alright, sure, I'll give it a go. Can you make a wisdom save for Titian, please?
Alright. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't have to make one, because he's an elf boy.
No. Okay, so he lifts the rock with the light on it. He gets to the edge of this ledge and just like drops down to the ground and just retches over the edge of it. Loses his bird breakfast.
Oh.
Why would you say that to me?
Sorry, Stray.
Oh. Poor buddy. Oh.
No. Okay, I'm not going down there yet.
Okay.
Oh man, I forgot I have invisibility. I forgot to pick up that spell. Sorry guys, continue.
It's okay.
I'm gonna take the rock out of his hand and just chuck it down there. Try and hit it right near the edge.
Can I pop a slab squat and try to see what I can think up of what this would be in like any arcana I would know?
This is
years of
incredibly far out of the stretch of reality, but you can certainly give it a go. This place reminds you of some certain building that you've been in for a long time.
So what you're saying is to make this roll I need to crack open a book.
Yep.
Okay. Alright. Arcana 18.
Alright.
But wait, there's Sirsha. That was initiative.
Guidance. Okay. Alright. 22. Yeah. You've totally seen this kind of thing before. Like, when you needed to go to the bathroom, but someone was already in there, and so, like, you were, like, repelled by something magically, like, oh, right, okay, this is occupied currently. That's no good. You're temporarily repelled from this. You don't know what the trigger is for opening it, this way forward, but it's like it's usually a gentle reminder, unless you're, like, directly trying to ignore the fact that you know about this thing and just sprint through to the water anyway. Poor Titian got a bit sick for that. Yeah, there's something that's quite literally keeping you from going that way.
Do you tell us?
You could probably muscle through it, but you would not feel very good for it. Just like, it would be really rude to still try and force your way into the bathroom when you know it's occupied.
Well, I mean, can I think of that to myself and ask myself, would it be a wise idea if Seer just dispelled magic?
I mean, you're pretty certain that there is no way she is powerful enough to dispel a goddamn thing in this place. It's so fucking magic. This place doesn't detect as magic ever, but that probably means alone that it is very powerful. And if she
Well,
did try
what
to
if
cast
she
a spell,
believes in herself?
you know what? She can give it a go.
No, I'm not. I'm smart enough not to have her do it.
Yeah.
She's gonna be really into doing it. Jeanette's gonna be like, please don't. I don't want you to explode.
Well, there is that possibility of magical traps, but also dispel magic starts with the lower level shit if it's in range for like dispelling before a contested thing, and that might just remove like an area of non-detect magic, and then everyone with detect magic gets sick because it's really, really magical here. You'd probably all you'd do is scrub away a protection.
I have an idea. I'm going to turn to the pool and say, may we come inside?
Melon.
Give me a charisma test, please.
Yeah. Any skill associated or just raw?
This is, I mean, you can call it a persuade actually.
Sure, let's do that. But wait, there's more.
Okay. As you do so, give me a brief moment.
And then it's a nymph. A nymph steals me away for a year and a day.
For breakfast. For a cup of tea underwater. Everything is fine. Let's see here. I need the appropriate thing. Alright. A figure drifts out of the water, but they are thin. When I say thin, like, you can see the water through them as though they were an after image.
Hey, I remember that elf.
They are in color, and they flit close, and they look at you. And that's when we're going to call it to a close for today.
I did the thing, guys.
Yeah,
Do a thing.
you did a thing.
2 out of 2 puzzles.
I'm gonna go lay down.
Okay,
Alright,
dude.
Stray, you feel
Hope you
better.
feel better soon.
Yeah, hopefully you get better.